So the agenda for today, first we're going to start by discussing when organizations would need to petition for approval to sell real property. It's important for you as someone overseeing the process to know whether or not this is needed. As we'll go through today, you'll see that there are a lot of documents that are required, a lot of information that you'll need, and some of these can take weeks or maybe even months to prepare. So you'll need to know upfront whether or not you need to seek approval in the first place. We'll also then discuss petitioning the Attorney General versus the New York Supreme Court. Today's focus is going to be on petitioning the Attorney General, and generally speaking, that's going to be the preferred method. However, there are some instances where you may need to petition the New York Supreme Court instead of the Attorney General's office, and it's important that you understand that from the outset. Again, this can be a detailed process, and there are different requirements for going through the court. So knowing who your audience is ultimately going to be from the beginning is very important. We'll then talk about how to prepare sale documents for a smooth petition process. There is some language that you can make sure is included in contracts for the sale of real property that will help smooth the process over and protect your client. And there's also some language that you'll want to look out for because it may add extra layers of complication or may even make it challenging to obtain the approval. So we'll discuss some of those. We'll then move on to obtaining and documenting approval by the board and members of an organization. In all instances, it is required that you obtain approval from the board of the corporation, but not all organizations require approval of their members. So we'll discuss how to know if your organization is one of those that requires membership approval, the steps that you'll need to take to make sure you get approval, and how to best document that so that you can demonstrate it to the Attorney General. We'll also discuss evaluating property appraisals. The appraisal is a very key part of the transaction, and while you may not have experience with drafting or reviewing appraisals, there are some key things that you'll want to know to look out for so that you can ask the questions up front before the Attorney General comes to ask the questions to you. And lastly, we'll talk about the required information for both the petition and for providing a draft Attorney General approval, which are ultimately going to be the documents you're submitting to the Attorney General's office in the hopes that they approve your transaction.